There we go. Let's get it. UFC Noche, Canelo Crawford. It's all going down this weekend. Excited to get things started off on a big note in a big way. The return. We're back. That's right, baby. We are back on a Wednesday freaking morning to get things kicked off. This is a huge fight week. Lots of regional MMA going on, lots of big events going on. UFC getting pushed to the side a little bit here. One of the weaker cards across the board when we look at all of MMA, all of combat sports going down this weekend. That Noche card is looking a little bit weak, but there are some specks of hope. There are a little bit of a few things to look forward to. We'll just put it that way. Fight Baz Allah Sheikh. What? I forgot your name, brother. I forgot your name. Give me the Musharraf. Musharraf. There you are, my friend. Thank goodness you are here. I'm thinking of Turkey Allah Sheikh. Musharraf. Apologies, but it reminds me of the name and reminds me of Turkey Allah Sheikh. I'm excited to see what we got going on this weekend. Hope you are too. What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming in, popping in, giving things a shout. It's been a while, been a bit inconsistent, of course, busy in real life, of course. Things happen. And you know what? YouTube, when you're not getting paid to do this shit, sometimes it gets to take a seat in the back row. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we move right along. We'll get things started. We'll look at what happened last night on the Dana White Contender Series because we had some big contracts. We even had a loser get a contract. That's right. One of the best women's fights that I've seen in quite a long time. Musharraf, I will go check out your Lopez Silva breakdown. I got some time today. I'm not going to lie. I did lie last week. I said I was going to check out your channel. I did not get a chance to. Of course, falling back on my word there. But this time, today, we got time. It's Wednesday. I ain't working the rest of the day. We're done. We're done. After this stream, we're done. Everything that I need to do. It's in Hindi. Well, damn. Well, damn. How am I going to get the translation? I guess I'm going to have to learn some Hindi to get caught up. Anyway, not in English. Dana White Contender Series last night. We got some fun fights, some fun finishes. One fight in particular did not play out the way that I thought it would. Franco taking on Vidal. I thought that Vidal would likely fall short here. Of course, he came in a little bit chubby, hadn't been fighting for too long. Franco looked pretty impressive on the regional scene, very dangerous in all aspects of MMA, but all he was trying to do was ride Vidal's nuts. And of course, Vidal, a decent wrestler, was able to stay out of some of the danger realms there. I mean, he ended up getting that sub in the third round, last second finish. I mean, pretty impressive there. They're going to give him another title or another shot on the Contender Series. That is Freddie Vidal, of course. Ray Longo making the news, making the rounds with his giant-ass fanny pack. That was fun to see. Steven Asplin, probably the highlight of the night. He surprised me. I thought that Anthony Gracio, being the Cage Fury champion, I believe, maybe not. Maybe he's the double champion. I don't quite remember. We can take a look in a minute, but I thought that he was going to run away with this one. Steven Asplin, not very impressive. Didn't really know a lot about him. He's the younger guy, though. The heavyweight division lost a lot of weight. Used to weigh 500 damn pounds. He got that shit done in quick fashion. Big mouth. Maybe he can get some things going in the heavyweight division. We got Ante Delia. He's making some noise in the heavyweight division. Maybe Steven Asplin can follow up with some good stuff as well. Larry and Douglas, however you pronounce it, however you say it, against Cam Teague. No. Cam Teague absolutely fell short once again. Of course, last year was basically just highlight fodder for Kevin Vallejos. This time around, Larry and Douglas gets it done in impressive fashion. You know what? This guy's 30 years old. He's supposed to be a prospect coming off the Dana White Contender Series. Throw him right in there. I say Rio card versus Patricio Pitbull. Let's get things going, moving quite quickly here because I don't want to see a bunch of 30-year-old prospects. In my opinion, the Contender Series, some of these guys that they're fighting, some of the competition level they're facing is not very high. So you know what? If it's not going to work out, if they're going to move on to the UFC and get absolutely flatlined and they become a Cam themselves, maybe Larry and Douglas can make a name for himself. But at 30 years old, he needs to get in there immediately, get a fight immediately, fight right now, tomorrow, next week, whenever he can, and start building his name because 30 years old, don't have a lot of time in the featherweight division. He's 13-5. That's his record right now. Not a great record. Of course, records in MMA don't really matter all too much, as we've seen. But listen, this guy's got to get in there, got to get some good fights under his belt quickly, right now, make a move. Patricio Pitbull, Rio card, who's coming, who's going? Is the hot prospect the thing to watch out for, or is he just another Can who beat up a separate Can in Cam Teague? No offense, Cam Teague. He's a fun fighter on the regional scene, just can't step up and face the big leagues. Anyway, Like I said, we already talked about Freddie Vidal there. They're going to give him another chance. Week 10, Dana White Contender Series, excited to see him back. Maybe he can be back in better shape. Looks like a kind of guy that could make middleweight potentially. He's a little bit shorter in stature, a little bit fluffy around the edges. Anyway, Samuel Sanchez, he got a great finish over Chasen Blair. Chasen Blair, not my favorite guy on the regional scene. He moves down to 7-4, not the best record, but Samuel Sanchez, he went out there, sparked him, flatlined him, absolutely murked him. He looked pretty damn impressive himself. We'll see what this guy can do. He's young. He's 22 years old. Let's slow roll this guy. Look at what they're doing to Baysengur Susarkayev. They're giving him Eric McConaughey next. McConaughey, not the best. No offense to McConaughey, just not the best, not the most athletic, not the most explosive. And so Baysengur, they're slow rolling that guy. I want to see them slow roll Samuel Sanchez because clearly he's got power. He's got a danger factor to him. Chasen Blair, he threatened with the wrestling, threatened with the takedowns. Samuel Sanchez, if he had just gone in there and flatlined the guy like a Steven Asplin, I would say, I'm not so sure. Maybe he's just heavy-handed. This time showed that he can deter some of that wrestling, stay safe in the wrestling, avoid the grappling as much as possible, and still get a finish. That was very impressive in my opinion. And then, of course, I dog on the women's MMA all the time. Every week I'm talking about how shit the women's MMA game is. Carol Foro, she's just a faster, quicker, better Jessica Andrade in 2025. And Chanel Dyer, she's an Angela Hill that can actually throw strikes, can actually hurt you, can actually do damage. I thought both these ladies showed out and showed up in a great way. They both deserve the contract they got. I don't like giving it to losers, but Chanel Dyer looked like she could actually beat up on some women in the strawweight division. I mean, Carol Farrell, I think she's the much less skilled, talented fighter, you might want to say, but she's got pop in her hands and she fights mean. And you know what? That goes a long way in women's MMA, in my opinion. Of course, the big card this weekend, though, is, of course, UFC Noche. Got some bright spots in there, like I mentioned off the top, but in general, not a lot of big names on this card. Diego Lopez, Gene Silva, that'll sell a damn pay-per-view for you. I mean, that is the fight of the week, no doubt. In my opinion, this is the biggest fight of the week. It's got the biggest stakes involved. It's the most intriguing fight. Two absolutely wild fighters. Diego Lopez, heavy hands. Gene Silva, heavy hands. Diego Lopez, fantastic grappling. Gene Silva, great body control. Whether he's a great jiu-jitsu practitioner, that is yet to be seen. The point is, he's got great control over his body and the wrestling. It is absolutely massive. Fight Boss, Musharraf, this is the fight of the weekend. Let me know what you think about this fight. Let me know your prediction, which way this fight is going. I don't know. I trust that Diego Lopez is better on the ground. However, Gene Silva is a ball of muscle. How easy is it going to be for Diego Lopez to submit Gene Silva? Likely not that easy. I'm leaning John Silva. I have not had the time to do the research, watched all the fights back. I lean Gene Silva because Diego Lopez is open on the feet, and I feel like Gene Silva is so comfortable in moments and gets into such a flow state that I believe that his defense may win him the day in this one. Somebody is getting finished in this one, and if somebody's not going to get finished, it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out war. Absolutely. Diego Lopez, the thinner, longer, taller fighter, can his chin withstand it? He's got the weaker neck. Does that mean anything? Will that mean anything? I don't know. I don't think so. I think both these guys' chins check out. But if I had to trust anybody in terms of chin and level of safety on the ground, maybe a Gene Silva. I don't know. I think it's tough for Lopez, but he can do it. Gene Silva is so damn good, and it's very hard to beat him. Listen, he has not faced the level of competition Diego Lopez has. We have to say that. What is that step up in competition going to look like? Does Diego have the range on him? Does he have the jiu-jitsu ability? He doesn't have great wrestling. That's what I fear for Diego. He needs to get this to the ground to secure a victory, in my opinion, to fight in his best, realm, in his A game, right? He uses that ground and pound, those heavy hands to do some damage as well. His wrestling is going to be tough to get off against a stocky guy like Gene Silva. That's what I worry about. Does that mean that Gene gets the win? Not necessarily, but I do lean Gene Silva. And then, of course, Rob Font taking on the guy who's making a name for himself, taking some fights on short notice. David Martinez here. I got to go with Rob Font. David Martinez is the more explosive athlete. Could this be the end of Rob Font? Of course, Rob Font getting older every day. Silva also don't have good wrestling. I know he doesn't have good wrestling, but the point is, can Diego get him down? Does he have good enough wrestling to get Gene down? That's the question, Musharraf. So you make a good point there. Gene Silva likely not going to be taking down Diego Lopez on the flip side of things. Rob Font, will this be the falling off point? Will this be the time in which he falls off? I don't think so. I trust in Rob Font. I don't trust David Martinez to be quite dangerous enough, even though he's got quite a few finishes on his record. I just don't see it. I don't see some one-punch KO threat from David Martinez. Rob Font, very crafty, very fast still, even at his age. I believe 39. Is he 39 or 38? 38 years old, freshly 38. So he's still on the good side of 38, not on the bad side, not on the downside of 38, excuse me. I'm excited for this one just to see. It's a young guy that we don't know a lot about in the UFC, hasn't fought a lot in the UFC. Can he do it? Can he pull it off? Can he pull off the upset? In my opinion, it is an upset over Rob Font. Rob Font, big name for all the hardcores. Do all the casuals know? No. But you know what? This could be a great showcase for a Mexican fighter, considering there's two Brazilians fighting in the main event of UFC Noche, meaning that the next fight consists of Rafa Garcia and Jared Gordon. This is going to be a fun scrap at lightweight. Two guys that get in there, absolutely grit down, bite down on the mouthpiece, throw heat with their hands. Are they both knockout artists? Neither of them really are, but they can throw heat. They can get scrappy. They're good in the scrambles. They're wrestling. Both of them decent, well-rounded fighters. This one's going to be fun. It's going to be fast-paced all across the board. These guys push a pace. Both of them push a pace, and I like to see that. Kelvin Gastelum, Dustin Stoltzfus. This one's going to be a meet in the middle, two bulls in a china shop type of fight. One fight I'm waiting for is Tatiana Suarez. Come get it. Come in it. I mean, listen, Tatiana Suarez. Is her body failing her? That is the question. Kelvin Gastelum, Dustin Stoltzfus. Is this at 185? Yes, it will be. Dustin Stoltzfus, he's a little bit up and down in his career. Kelvin Gastelum, I mean, he's always, ever since that Izzy fight, been on a bit of a tear. Comeback fight for Tatiana Suarez, of course. Is her body going to fail her? That's, again, like I said, that's my question here. A couple of gems on the prelims. Tatiana Suarez, Amanda Lemos could be decent. I don't have high hopes for Tatiana. It just looked like her body absolutely fell apart. All the injuries, all the sickness, all the things that she's been dealing with. I just didn't like it from her. She's a phenomenal athlete, great fighter. I think her body's failing her, and I don't want to see that against Amanda Lemos. Maybe Amanda Lemos can capitalize on it, excuse me. Anyway, Alexander Hernandez, Diego Ferreira, that's a hell of a fight. Two fucking hammers in their hands, both of them. Each hand can throw with everything. Weight cut could be a problem for Tatiana. That's true, too. This one's going to be at 115 as well, so she's cutting down, not to 125, but 115, of course. That could be a problem, like you said. But Hernandez, Diego Ferreira, if you know, you know. Need I say anything else? Two guys that have been around for quite a while. Alexander Hernandez, bit of an up and down career. Diego Ferreira has been hanging around right outside the UFC lightweight ranking. Both these guys are very heavy-handed when they can get their strikes off. Of course, we saw the knockout that Diego landed on Michael Johnson not too long ago. Alexander Hernandez has been going off in a couple of fights over the last few months, year-ish. He's got some fights, some wins over some older guys. That last win against Chase Hooper, I was a bit surprised by, but not shocking. He's got heavy hands. He can finish a guy like a Chase Hooper. This one's going to be probably an ending in a knockout somewhere within the fight. Santiago Luna, Kwang Lee, not one of the fights that I'm particularly looking forward to, but Santiago Luna, he is 6-0. Excited to see what he can do. See you in the next live. Thank you, Musharraf. Fight Boss. Anybody out there watching this on replay, go check him out. He's got a good channel. If you speak Hindi, go check him out. Great stuff on his channel. I'll be going and checking out some stuff on there. You know, got to translate. Sometimes you watch a movie with some subtitles on it. These are the kind of videos that you're going to want to turn those subtitles on and watch. Check him out. Support the guy. Thank you for showing up, my man. I will see you. Have a great one. I'll see you next freaking time, brother. Anyway, moving right along, Joaquim Silva and Claudio Puelles. This one's going to be a fun one as well. Two guys in the lightweight division. Very underrated fighters. Some guys that sometimes slip up in the big moments. Of course, Joaquin took on that Arman Sarukian fight on short notice. Made a good account of himself. Claudio Puelles, he was on a run a couple of years ago, submitting everybody. This is going to be a fun one in the lightweight division as well. Listen, I don't know where these guys are at in their careers right now. Claudio Puelles, He's a little bit weak on the feet. Of course, he doesn't have the best striking. Maybe has a bit of a weak chin. He's still 29 years old, still young. Can he turn things around? I don't know. Joaquim Silva himself, he's 36 on the bad end of 35, but he could still come back in a big way, do some things. We're looking at the early prelims now. Jesus Aguilar, Luis Gurule, that one's going to be a bit of a scrap as well, flyweight fight. I'm not sure how this one's going to play out, to be completely honest with you, but it's flyweight. It's going to be fun from beginning to end. Zachary's, hopefully he smashes through Cedric Dumas. Listen, Dumas, the big story of the week has been that he's got $13 in his bank account, which sucks. But when you're a career criminal like he is, that shit kind of adds up and it kind of plays out in the way that we expect. He's rolling up with a bunch of big bills and he cannot seem to get things right in his MMA career, in his personal life. We'll see if he can get a win here. I highly doubt it. Zachary's the better finisher in my mind. In this one, going to get the work done. Alessandro Costa versus Alden Correa. Correa, of course, unranked flyweight in the Tapology rankings. I mean, this guy's 10-3. Alessandro Costa, this is another 125 fight. Bit of a scrap. These are going to be some fun fights on the prelims. We got the tough finale as well between Demille and Rodrigo. I didn't watch the tough season, so I won't say one way or the other which way this one's going to go. I like Daniil. I've seen more of his fights on the regional scene, but I don't have a studied background with his career. Elise Pereira, she's making her debut against Montserrat Rendon. She's one to look forward to. She's about 18 or 19 years old. Yep, 19 years old, born in 2005. Goddamn, I'm getting old. Woo! She's been getting the work done. She's 5-0. I'm excited for that one. Very excited to show off this card. UFC Noche. Not a great card from top to bottom in terms of name value, but could result in some good scraps, as UFC Noche somehow tends to do year in and year out. Meanwhile, we've got lots of interesting stuff going on in the boxing realm. Yeah, that's right. I am shocked to come to you with some actual news regarding Dana White and the potential Zuffa Boxing League. Let me just pull it up for you. The big one that was making the rounds yesterday was, of course, his talk about fighter pay. Let's take a listen to what Dana White has to say regarding the Canelo Crawford fight, the Zuffa boxing, the Turki Al-Sheikh deal. Let's listen to what he has to say about the money involved in boxing, the money involved that the fights get into, or that the fighters get into, MMA, boxing, Zuffa, Ali Act. What's going on here? Let's take a listen. Let's make sure the audio is all good for you guys. Apologies. Give me 1 second. We'll get it fixed right away. Plugging in the headphones. I don't want it coming out of there. Here we go. Here it is.
The difference that I'm wondering about is fighter pay, because historically,
hopefully it's not echoing for you guys. Let me know.
Matches are making a lot more than UFC fighters in championship matches. So what do you do?
Well, there's a handful of guys that always make that kind of money. When you look at the UFC, the money is spread across the entire group of guys. You eat what you kill. I mean, if you are a huge star like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, many people have proven that they could sell pay-per-views, and you eat what you kill here. We also have guys that would be considered journeymen in boxing who make millions of dollars. So the whole fighter pay thing is completely not true. And what I want to do is, obviously I'm doing this Canelo Crawford fight, and I don't think anybody's questioning what these two are going to get paid.
Well, I am, because it's not on record. What's the base purse for Canelo?
Well, imagine what it would take to get Canelo to fight Crawford and have a guy move up weight classes when he's undefeated.
I've heard 100 million.
Probably.
But no one in the UFC's ever made that as a base purse.
Conor McGregor?
100 million. But that was against Floyd in a boxing match. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So
what about Crawford? What's he getting?
Who?
Crawford.
I don't know. I actually don't even know. So that deal was cut with Sheikh Turkey in Saudi Arabia. And basically in 26, I'm going to start my show. And what I'm going to do is basically like the Contender Series. The best will fight the best. Undefeated guys will fight undefeated guys. And what you will do is you will care about the first fight of the night and not just the main event. So I will build stars, put on great fights, and then these guys will graduate, and fight with Shake Turkey, and they will determine, how much they get paid. And
there we go. So Dana White laying it all out on the table, laying all the cards out on the table, right? What he's going to be doing is building fighters, building stars, building talent, right? It's what he says. He got pushed here by a lady who's not in the MMA realm, somebody that doesn't usually speak with Dana White. She pushed him further than most any other reporters would push a Dana White. Let's look at the comments just to see what other people are saying. He's not wrong, but I still wish the UFC fighter pay was higher. I think it should be. I think you could probably double their purses. I don't think that these guys who are part-time fighters that seem to not care about the game as much as they should, that have these issues, I think a lot of these guys in MMA, no offense, I love them all dearly. They are some of my favorite athletes in the world. I love them more than NFL stars. I don't watch any of that shit. I watch MMA because the guys, they're real people, they're real humans, they're everyday working class individuals like us. And I believe that they are likely getting a fair shake when it comes to pay. Some of these guys come off the streets, they come out of jail, they come out of this, they come off an addiction to this, that, and the other, drug, alcohol, whatever. They make a name for themselves in the fight world in MMA. I don't think those guys should be getting millions of dollars just to fight on the early prelims. I don't think Cedric Dumas should be making $1 million. No offense to the guy, right? Career criminal, in and out of jail constantly. He's getting arrested. I don't know what his deal is. Prison, jail. I don't know what is going on. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that guy get paid $1 million to start out on the early prelims, or $100,000 to fight one time, or your base pay is $100,000. No. You could easily double base UFC pay from 10-10 to 20-20, and these guys would still be just as hungry as ever. You need to keep fighters hungry so that they fight hard and fight to the best of their ability. They put in all the work, all the hours at the gym. That's just how it is. That's how it is. You have to keep these guys hungry. They are monsters. They are animals. They scratch and claw for every bit of money that they can. They work second jobs. They work third jobs. They can't be getting all these millions of dollars to do this shit. So, yes, it should be higher, but to what extent? We can't just be giving these guys hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars for not pushing any money, for not pulling any pay-per-views, for not pulling in crazy views. It's just a fact of the matter. All right, the flow man here. I see Dana's boxing will be the steeping grounds for them to make the turkey money. Shit, I guess it'll be worth it, knowing the top is still millions. LOL. Now I want to know if Dana will allow his MMA fighters to cross over for the opportunity for big spots and make them fights in boxing. We will wait and see on that one. Of course, this weekend, Canelo Crawford, I mean, they're probably making 200, 300 million a piece. I mean, that's not even out of the realm of possibility whatsoever. Not even a little bit. Of course, some news that came over the wire is that Israel has now done some either missile strikes, bombings. I don't know what's going on over there. Prayers up for everybody involved. Hopefully everyone's okay that's involved in this. Hopefully the right people that are bad people were hurt by this. Hopefully the people that are just innocent, they're okay. I don't know what's going on over there. But apparently Doha, the capital of Qatar, was targeted by some leaders of something. And the UFC will be going there in just a few short weeks in November. So is this fight card in jeopardy? What's going on there? I mean, wow, what the heck is going on? It's crazy. Some other news, and again, prayers up for everybody involved in that one. We'll get back to the MMA news. Again, nothing political here. Nothing political here. That's not what we want to talk about. We play it fair from every side. We're just purely wondering, is UFC Qatar in any trouble of getting canceled because there was some kind of attack in the area? Something that came through yesterday. A video that is absolutely embarrassing if your name is Losane Keita. This guy, huge prospect, double champion over there in Octagon MMA, was supposed to be taking on Patricio Pitbull, UFC France. UFC Paris, this is not a good look. This is a young fighter, very foolish. This is absolutely hysterical, in my opinion. It's very funny to watch because you missed weight. This is your fault. It's on you. You weren't sick. You had plenty of time to make weight right here. In this video, there was an hour left to go, and he's already given up. Already, there's no way he can make weight. Patricio, look at him. He has fairly drained himself. He looks like he's been cutting weight. He's not happy that he's had to cut weight and do all this fly over there, trying to give him the big shot at making a name for himself off of the big name of Patricio Pitbull. Just take a listen for yourselves. If you can interpret it, I'll walk you through it along the way. Let me know. Anybody out there, let me know if you can hear it, if you can understand. Take a listen.
Me everything you said, but please, it's my, I fucked it up. I know. Even my coach is there. The only thing I can say, please, it's my life. I've been waiting for this call all my life. Normally, I don't even talk to my opponent like this.
Patricio's not being rude here, being understanding, very calm. Of course, he will be fighting this guy in the not too distant future, right? As of this video, Keita's saying, "Oh, I've done this. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to." He knows. He's been through it. He's killed himself to make weight before. He knows how it is. But this is your chance. This is your opportunity. And you are messing it up. So Patricio now has to sacrifice and make all that weight cut in and of himself. He has to do that and hurt himself, damage his own body, and then take the fight against the up-and-coming guy. It's really tough. Now, some people might be saying, Patricio, you're a pussy for not taking it on short notice, for not being a man, stepping up and just taking the fight no matter what, anywhere, anytime. This guy has done nothing in the world of MMA. He has made no name for himself. Patricio's giving him himself, right? He's becoming the stepping stone for this guy. That's hard to do. That's hard to do for Patricio.
He's asking why you didn't make until 11.
Because I can't. I'm not sweating. We try everything. I'm not sweating no more.
Já perdeu,
I'm not
tá
sweating no
3 pounds acima, não vai.
I try. Even now, I was trying. I talk with everybody. I can.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
I can. This is my life. I just want to fight. I didn't fight like 1 year. Please,
I gave you all the
I
vanity,
know.
but I can't give you this vanity of the weight.
It's only 1 kilo.
I can't do
It's
this.
only 1 kilo.
No.
Please don't take this.
No. And you take it off. Not me. That's your fault. You said that.
You can even take half of our money.
Sorry about that. He's trying to get Patricio to take the fight no matter what. Just take it. Give me the chance. I swear, brother, give me the chance. He's already giving him a chance. He's already flying across the world. He's already taken on the no-name guy. He's given you everything. He's given you everything he can except for the fight. And usually, I would rather have a guy fight. But in the case of recently, Brian Ortega, Patricio Pitbull, what the fuck are you doing? What are we doing here? Like, this is just such a joke. Like, you're the younger guy. Make the fucking weight. Make the weight. Or don't fight at this weight class. You're wasting everybody's time. Wasting everybody's time. Shit happens, but you're not sick. You're wasting a lot of energy being very expressive, talking like this. Come on, man. Listen, we all know weight cutting is hard. Weight cutting is killing yourself. Not a good look for Keita here. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I expect better from a guy making his fucking debut in the UFC. Make the damn weight. And if you can't, you should have said something a week earlier. You weren't even close. And you're not trying here. You're wasting your time talking to this guy when you should be cutting weight and killing yourself even more. If you can make it, do it.
I don't care.
That's your fault. That's your fault, not mine.
Don't do this. Don't do
That's not about me. It's about you.
Bro, you are fighting. You are fighting.
I'm a fighter, but I'm professional.
Don't do this to me. Brother, you did this yourself. You did this to yourself. What are you doing? I'm not the biggest fan of Patricio. And yeah, I like fighters to take the fights because I wanted to see this fight. He was giving up 2-3 pounds, would it really have mattered? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, why? They're in it for themselves. Justin Gaethje's calling for a title shot against Ilia Topuria. I think that's the dumbest thing in the world, but you know what? He is his own business, and he's got to try to do the best with what he can, and I can't blame him for doing it. I think it's stupid. I didn't like that we missed out on this fight between Keita and Patricio. But this video is very telling. I mean, don't do this to me, brother. You're a fighter, bro. Step up, do the right thing. You do the right thing and make the fucking weight. Or don't waste everybody's time. That's what you're supposed to do. And you didn't do that. And it's stupid. This hit the wire as well. UFC fighter Cedric Dumas posted his bank account showing over $13.96 ahead of his fight at Noche UFC. This is the price of being an adult and paying legal actions and stuff in your life. I hate hearing people say, I don't struggle in the big scene. I'm just giving you all something to laugh about. Yeah, I mean, when you're a career criminal, you've been arrested 13, 14 times. Shit comes around and bites you in the ass, man. That's what happens. Don't commit crimes, dog. Stupid. Stupid, stupid people. And listen, I haven't seen if anybody's really complaining about this. Oh, fighter pay this. Oh, fighter pay that. Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn one bit or the other. Some other news. Dominick Cruz went on Mighty Mouse podcast, the Mighty Cast, whatever it's called nowadays. And he had some things to say about a lot of things. Rankings, rewards for fighting. This was the big one. Even if I lost the title, even if I lost 2 in a row, they're still giving me top 5 because I'm getting paid so much they want to see me get beat to death for that money. Guys like Andrei Arlovsky, guys like Clay Guida, guys like Darren Elkins. The reason they aren't taking on the bums, the prospects, the debut fighters, and they're taking on fairly well-established names, even into their late 30s, 40s, is because they get paid so much money. Brian Ortega should not be ranked in the top 15, but that guy's getting paid so much money, he can only be fighting those caliber of guys. So Dominick Cruz here, like this quote from him, really shed some light on some things that people may not have been aware of, but it's just a fact. If you're getting paid the big bucks, if you've been to the top and fallen off, you're not going to have any easy fights. That's why Joshua Van, Sage Northcutt, young guys. I mean, we're waiting on Joshua Van, but there's been a lot of young guys that make it to the top and then cannot recover because they have to fight the best of the best every time out, and their careers ultimately suffer for that. So, will that happen to Josh Van? That's a one guy that we can see that's coming up real quick that might not be ready for it. One of those guys that comes to mind, of course, is Sage Northcutt. Too early, or too much too early for some of these guys. It's unfortunate. Could we be rushing things with a Josh Van? That's the question going forward, at least for the rest of this year, 2025. That's one of those guys that comes to mind. Anyway, UFC has requested that an event be held at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas at December 6th. That'll be that Saturday. First weekend of December will likely be UFC 323. Looking forward to that pay-per-view. It will likely be stacked from top to bottom. The December cards, year in and year out, are some of the best cards of the year. Of course, there's also some beef brewing concerning this weekend. Diego Lopez and Gene Silva. Let's take a listen to this. Here's Diego Lopez speaking on the beef that's brewing. Gene Silva's come out and said they almost got into it, almost got into a fight at the hotel. I mean, what the hell's going on here? Good grief. These guys are going blow for blow before the fight even starts. My goodness. I mean, why? Who was expecting this? Because I thought they were both pretty chill, both cool with each other, whatever. 2 Brazilian guys. I guess there's not. So there is some animosity between these two. Pretty even-keeled guys. They're both a little bit crazier in their own way, but I mean, they're pretty calm overall in their day-to-day life. I mean, I don't know. Just my opinion. Gene gets a little bit emotional, gets a little bit crazy fight week, fight night. Anyway, here they are. Let's listen. Here's Diego Lopez.
ESPN preview where he says, I don't like Diego Lopez. Do you not like him as well? Oh, it's okay. This guy not like me. Okay, I'm not like him now.
Why do you think he doesn't like you?
I don't know. You need to ask him.
Do you have a reason not to like him?
No.
You don't have a relationship with him, right?
No, I don't have a relationship with him. But I think this guy is jealous because I have a great hair, you know.
That is possible. He also said in Brazil we have a saying, "Our saints don't match." Do you know this saying? Our saints don't match. And he says, his saint and your saint, like I think your spirits don't match. Does this make sense?
Oh yeah. This is normal in Brazil. It's like the people say this is like it's como se fosse dicho in Brazil.
It's a saying.
It's the same in Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know for why, but
do you agree with that?
Bro, like I'm in chill for everyone, you know. It's like I'm a good guy for everyone, but this guy said I'm not like him. Okay, I'm not like you too.